Good afternoon, everybody. I am Ghulam Ibrahim, very activist in Lodium, especially focusing on crime. I appreciate Julius Malema, the president of the EFF, bringing the crime issue head on. A thumbs up for that. We need to do more on crime. Crime is totally out of hand. I'm sure everybody will agree. I have a maid that that stays in Iterleng, and she was robbed by a Nyaupe guy for a cell phone. And we made sure we will get that cell phone in Iterleng by the Nyaupe guy. But they stand together, the Nyaupes. They are everywhere in Lodium. How do we get rid of these guys? Because crime is gone so high in Lodium, it's unreal. Professional police are doing nothing. They catch, and tomorrow they are out again. That's one issue. That is one issue. The second issue is of Palestine. We have the Jewish Board of Deputies here in South Africa that have a lot to say to the people of South Africa, to the government of South Africa. We need to take a stand, the government of South Africa. The new government of South Africa, which I vote for, is the EFF. I'm voting for the EFF to take over this government. Maybe we can get some change in what the president has said. If he is true in what he has said, we are going forward as one nation to change this country, to make it better for the people. Look at the poverty. Look at the poverty in the townships. Our own people. It's a disgrace. We're not doing anything about it. Right in front of us. Yeah, our Indians, they support Iterleng. We give food hampers, blankets. Good work to the Muslim community of Lodium and surrounding areas. I applaud you for it. But more needs to be done by police, government, military, especially the unlicensed firearms that are running around everywhere. You can't have a roadblock on the one side and then on the other side the criminals are running away. Come on, have a roadblock on both sides and combat crime and bring the crime down. Also the drug dealers, the syndicates, the gangsters. Look at the Cape Flats. What about the Cape Flats? Look at how they're killing the people there. Let's do something, man. Thank you very much.
Number two, let's go to number two. Number two, it's here.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Tasawwur Hussain Chaudhry. I welcome Mr. Malema in Lodium, and we are happy to meet you. And unconditionally, we support you. With the election, we would like to have a communication with our community. And if you want to have an office, we are available to run your office for EFF and support you fully. Thanks so much. You already explained everything, what we having a problem in South Africa, in Lodium and all around. So thanks so much for coming and addressing us. We understood you very truly, rightly, and we support you. Thanks so much.
Let's go to number three at the back, behind the fighter, next to the protection CVC.
Yeah.
At the back. Okay, that's fine.
Good day, everyone. My name is Yusuf Ismail, born and bred in Lodium. I just want to make it clear I'm also a member of an opposition party that was newly formed. So I'm going to ask some questions and I'm going to say some truths about South Africa. We know that this is the most contested election in our lifetime. People are confused on who to vote for. It's going to be wild. But let me explain. What Mr. Malema said, I agree. South Africa is a ticking time bomb, guys. I myself had to join in politics. I don't like these things, but I'm saying I can't watch South Africa burn. I'm a very patriotic South African. Right? 300 years we know that South Africa has been under colonialism and apartheid. You can't take 30 years to fix everything. But South Africa has gone backwards, not forwards. And it's because of this uncaring, unpatriotic government. Let me tell you, we sit on 2.3 trillion rand in taxes per annum. But this government chooses to loot. That is why there's high inequality. And that is why people are suffering. Now, we're the ticking time bomb, and the ticking time bomb is this elections. So people need to be really careful on who they vote for. We must vote progressively in these elections. Yes. I have a few questions for the EFF and CIC. I don't know if I must salute you or something. And then there's Honorable Ndlozi from Parliament. I watch politics, guys. I've been following politics all my life. I've been an auditor for 11 years, so I watch all of them. Don't worry. I can even see Ramabodi from Tswane. Okay, the first one I have is illegal immigration, right? I want to know what's the plans for illegal immigration. I know the EFF subscribes to Pan-Africanism and they want Africa to be united. But let us not be mistaken that there are mafias in this country who are selling drugs to our children, destroying our economy on purpose. There are even, you mentioned kidnapping. I can tell you right now, there's kidnapping syndicates from other countries who are watching us and laughing at us. Please, we have to deal with them decisively. They must come in legally and they must contribute to the economy of South Africa. I want to understand what's EFF's plan on that matter, because honestly, some people are really taking advantage of South Africa. I know it's bad, there's syndicates, and a lot of guns are coming in from over the border, so we have to secure our borders. Otherwise, we might be feeling, yes, we can allow people to come in, but do they have the same nature and caringness towards South Africans? We have to ask ourselves those questions. The other thing I wanted to ask is, I know Mr. Malema also said that Floyd Shivambu must be finance minister, and that will be like if the ANC and EFF correlate, right? My view is ANC can't be trusted in this country. You all agree? Let me explain why. This was my last talk for ANC. In 2020, when our people were dying in hospital, people couldn't even afford food. You know what our comrades in ANC done? They stole billions of rands. And we want to trust the government like that. No. So please, Mr. Malema, do not correlate with ANC. They must sit in a naughty corner for 5 years and think what they've done to this country. Stop them! And then the last one I'm saying is, he mentioned that the food parcels and that are going to come. Please, my brothers and sisters, no party has political muscle and money like ANC. They're not in the billions, guys. They're going to come with food parcels, t-shirts. They will even give you prawns and a 5-star meal. Take it. But vote wisely and scope them out. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yusuf Abramji. I'm an anti-crime activist and I want to ask a few questions about crime and policing, Commander-in-Chief. Let me make it very clear, I'm not a member of any political party, for the record. Let me first of all salute you, Commander-in-Chief, for your stand on crime. You are absolutely right when you say it's a war. And these criminals are terrorizing us day in and day out. We were here in this very hall a few weeks ago with a ministerial imbizo from the police. They promised action. The community complained about police corruption, about the drugs, about the kidnappings. They did absolutely nothing up to now. So please, we appeal to you, Commander-in-Chief, on your stage is the MEC for Public Safety in the city of Johannesburg, the good Dr. Mashwaku. And let me say, not because I know him, perhaps, Doctor, you must come to the city of Tshwane and show these corrupt TMP officials how to come and work. I was at your launch in Soweto of the Tactical Response Unit. The TMPD in the city of Tshwane, you'll agree with me, is corrupt. We need to clean them up. Obageng, you are a councillor in the city of Tshwane. You know that in this area, our service delivery is at its worst. We have potholes, forget load shedding, we have power outages almost every day. Where's Amo? Amo, I want you to say something. She's the chair lady of the Residents Association. And she will tell you, these councillors who are here in our areas west of the city, this is an ANC ward, they do very little to help us, and the plight of the residents is a problem. We keep on complaining about service delivery, and very little and nothing gets done. For how long are we going to complain? We know that you're not in power in the city of Tshwane, you've got a coalition in Johannesburg, in Ekurhuleni, but Commander-in-Chief, please, we need to use the powers that you have to put pressure on the authorities to better the life of our communities. We've complained, and I'm speaking as a resident of this area, we've complained about Itarileng for years. They keep on neglecting Itarileng. They do absolutely nothing. The mayor of Tshwane hasn't been to our area since he came into power. Why is he scared? The people of White Blocks, and I'm sure I see some of you are here today, you keep on complaining. What have they done for White Blocks? Nothing. You go to White Blocks, it is a disgrace, 30 years in our democracy for people to live the way you live. Let me end off, ladies and gentlemen. Commander-in-Chief Dr. Ndlozi and I have had a chat about this. 2 years ago, I called the Commander-in-Chief about rogue elements within the EFF going to business, trying to extort money. And I repeat, rogue elements. The Commander-in-Chief immediately took action and he suspended those members. The last few weeks, we've seen rogue criminal elements using EFF t-shirts, going to construction sites in Centurion and Pretoria West. They're demanding money, and I'm appealing to you, Dr. Ndlozi and Commander-in-Chief, to please take action against these criminals who are using your party's name. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the fifth person. It's here.
Okay, good afternoon everybody. My name is Amori. I'm from the Centurion area. My first question, I actually shared a status yesterday on my WhatsApp. And please don't take me wrong, I've got a very blended family, I've got a very colorful family. But the first question that most people asked me yesterday over WhatsApp was about the racial comments that the EFF makes towards whites, Indians, coloreds. That is one question I have. The second one is, what does the EFF do for the youth after school? So it's one thing, what is your plans from the EFF for kids in a university? So it's no point in kids doing bursaries, having to apply for loans, to pay off study loans. That's not right. We need to have a free education that is open and available to everybody. Yusuf has spoken a bit about the municipality issues. I have been involved with the orphanage in Hammanskraal, and the title deed belongs to City of Tshwane. For 10 years, I've been struggling to get that title deed transferred to Tswaraganang Orphanage. Why is things like this so difficult? So this is an orphanage that takes care of 60 kids, but because they don't have the title deed, nobody is willing to build a proper structure for them. Because they don't have a proper structure, they cannot get funding from government, so they don't get grants. So this is an ongoing issue. ANC has made promises. The mayor has been there. They've made promises. Nothing has been done. But why do we as a community have to struggle so much for a simple thing like this? I don't benefit from it, but 60 other kids are going to benefit from it. But why for 10 years must I struggle for these kids? It is not fair. It's a simple thing as taking that title deed, transferring it to the orphanage. But right across from the orphanage, sorry, I have to block my, I have to block my swearing words. Right across from the orphanage, a shebeen can open and they get issued with a liquor license in a week. In a week. So how does the city of Tshwane allow a shebeen to open across from an orphanage with little kids? Little kids, drunk men must come to the fence and want to touch little girls. Since when is that okay? I'm so angry about this now, but I really want the EFF to help me with this, because the DA has failed me, the ANC has failed me, and I want you guys to help me with this, please. And I salute you for the things that you have done for Palestine, because nobody has the balls or the guts to do what you did for Palestine. And because of that, I'm here today. Thank you.
Last two.
My name is Hassan Baramari. I am a resident here in Lodium. I would like to, first of all, to thank the Commander-in-Chief, Dr. Lozi, and everybody else who came to grace us here. Thank you so much. I'm speaking as a human being who loves other humans as well. We appreciate the EFF for standing with the people of Palestine. Every person who loves humanity, every person who loves to see peace, loves the EFF for the commendable act that they did, marching with the Muslims and every other human being in support of the Palestinians. We commend you for that and we really appreciate that. But as you know that Israel is being sponsored by the West and other puppet African countries that are under the thumbs of the West, if you are in government and if you close down the embassy of Israel, I'm quite sure that you know that there are sanctions that are going to come from the West, curbing whatever businesses that will, for South Africa. What do you have, what measures do you have in place to curb the sanctions that are going to definitely come if you are in government and you are going to close the Israeli embassy? This is how powerful they are. No, they are a weak state to begin with, but they have powerful friends behind them. So what measures do you have in place just in case the sanctions are imposed in the country of South Africa? Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Salute to the government in waiting. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank the EFF for blessing us with your presence here. Some years ago, if I'm not wrong, it was 2014 or so, Commander-in-Chief and your team, we went to the Israeli government embassy in Linwood on a Friday, Ramadan, repeating exactly what you have repeated, to say these guys must go home. And we fully understand the reasons why our current administration is playing games. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for clarifying certain things that otherwise, if I was not in this meeting, I wouldn't have known. The current administration is having a narrative that they are playing out. In Itireleng, in Tshwane, we have 7 regions where they play in this narrative, exactly what you have referred to. Why do we want Floyd Shivambu? No, Ojazakataman. He's going to steal the money. So the people are very suspicious. And the people are saying to us on the ground, Yusuf will tell you, we're working day in and day out. And someone talked about you talked about nutritional poverty. Here is a lady who on every Friday or so is supporting people of Itireleng, Gadijo, food. But guess what they did? So my question to the EFF before I hand over is, one, and nobody you'll know about this. A month ago, we were part of the people who went to the city of Tshwane with service delivery. And we gave them deadlines, which they ignored. 2 weeks ago in Atteridgeville, in Mawiga, Mabopan, Winterfell, Seshanguve, and all that, we took a resolution that if these guys, before the 29th, don't give us what they want, they will get to know who we are. We have the power as people on the ground. But then, without going away, Firoza, you can best explain. Someone talked about youth unemployment. I would like to just take this opportunity to say, there you are.
Thank you. Thank you, CIS Julius Malema, for coming to us to hear. It is 530 SASSA grant, yet our school fees monthly is 1,200 in a government school. We paid our school fees, yet our schools have no teachers, so what are we paying for? Here's a quote that I like. Don't feed us fish for a day. Instead, teach us how to fish to feed our families. Uniforms are 1,000 rand. A stable diet per month is 3,000, meaning our basics, bread, milk, maize. Yet the prisoners receive free meals, entertainment, and as well uniforms. Our ANC ward councillor, Naeem Patel, is a well-known drug addict. But he does not do anything to point out all the drug dealers that he well knows as well, that he buys from, as we all know. Yet I'm a child that I know very well. I can take you to anyone I know, a drug addict, but he himself is taking money from them, so he doesn't take them out. Our police officers, as we know, they go to all the drug dealers saying, we need choncho money. We call them all the choncho boys. They don't do their work fighting crime in white blocks. But they get paid for what? We are living here in fear of people stealing from us. Our police officers are not doing nothing. We need help coming from a child living in white blocks. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Really, the issue of crime cannot be ignored. And I know people like Yusuf have been fighting this issue for quite some time, and we are happy to be part of the journey to free South Africa from gangsters and drug lords and criminals. There are too many unlicensed firearms, especially in Cape Flats and KZN. In KZN, apartheid, when it bought armaments with apartheid debt, those who were there in the 90s will tell you, trucks full of weapons, different kinds of guns, were sent to KZN to fuel black on black violence, because they thought that instability will make apartheid government survive. So they gave people the guns. That's why President Mandela said, throw the guns into the sea, and no one threw a single gun to the sea. Those guns that were taken to KZN, the Department of Defense must be able to tell us how many weapons were sent to KZN and what are the made of those weapons and who were they sent to, so that a massive raid can be conducted. Massive. That means getting into every individual's house, searching for these guns, because guns are easily accessible. In Cape Flats, it's like a daily breed where people just come to the streets, shoot at each other. Police are in cahoots with those who are extorting people and sponsoring the gangsters. The DA government give well-known gangsters tenders to get money from government so that they can buy more guns and shoot at each other. The DA government in the Western Cape even get money from these gangsters and drug lords to support the campaign of the DA in Western Cape. So these are areas that will be paying attention when we take over this government. You need a corrupt-free minister and a commissioner. Our current commissioner of police has got no idea what he's doing. By just looking at him and listening to him, it's like a man is lost. He doesn't know why he's here. And then you've got a capable policeman in KwaZulu-Natal called Mkhwanazi, the provincial commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, being reduced to a province when we need him the most at national level, so that he can command these ones of provinces and tell them what to do. Because Mkhwanazi is not playing there in KZN. All known criminals and families that was feared in KwaZulu-Natal is dropping them one by one. When they go to catch in transit, he kills the whole thing. Kill them. There was a well-known criminal who was extorting people money in Richards Bay. The police went to kill him under Mkhwanazi's leadership in KZN in Zimbabwe because he thought he can put up a fight against police. They killed him. Well known, highly feared. That's Mkhwanazi for you. Why they are wasting time keeping him in KZN instead of putting him national, and then he can have access to the Cape Flats? We need Mkhwanazi's approach in Cape Flats because the gangsters and gang leaders in the Cape Flats are well known. Mkhwanazi says, my strategy is very simple to fight crime. Once they say this one is a troublemaker, whether there is a case against this troublemaker or not, is already a person of interest. We deploy people to him or monitor this one. And we are going to find him one day trying to do those things because he doesn't know he's being monitored. He will be dropped. So all those criminals and thugs in KZN, they now know that there is no time to play because many of them had pocketed politicians and police commissioners and all of that. When Castle Matale became a deputy minister of police, I just gave him one advice. Never take any bag from any of the generals in the police because they are all in the pockets of criminals. So we will fight this and will really make sure that South Africa becomes a better place. Palestine is a stand we took a long time ago. It's not a stand that we take now on elections. From its formation, the EFF has always declared to be on the side of the poor and the dejected and rejected masses of our people and the oppressed. Every rally of the EFF, starting with its public lounge in Marikana 10 years ago, every rally of the EFF has a flag of Palestine flying on top of the stage. If you go back to all the rallies of the EFF, you will never find a rally of the EFF since its formation without a Palestinian flag flying high, because we are with the people of Palestine. They told me about those rogue unit elements in the EFF who have been going around Region 4 extorting people, saying they want 30% and all of that. We are not those kind of politicians. Please, if someone comes to you with an EFF t-shirt and say, give us 30% or else we'll close this place, we're a telephone call away. Just tell them, hold on, I'm coming. You go on the site and make a telephone call. We always know where is who. We'll immediately send a person there where you are. We'll send an EFF person, and then you keep them long. Give them samosas and this and that. Sit here. Just keep them long until we arrive. And then once we arrive, you say, let's start the discussions because the leadership is here. They are going to leave that office one by one. Because there's no such a policy in the EFF. So we humbly plead, Yusuf and them, you've got the numbers, we've got our numbers, we've got this. Once such elements present themselves, just give a call. There will be a response in less than 30 minutes to come and deal with these criminals. Because if they are taking money from you, can you imagine what they are doing in Itirele? For sure they are selling stands there in Itirele. That if you can't come and stay here, if you don't buy a stand, criminals. In the name of the EFF. So we can't say we are fighting for land, people must get land for free. You are EFF, you go and take the land and sell it to people. In the name, if those elements are known, they must be immediately suspended, and then that should be communicated publicly, especially in the affected areas, that such people have been suspended from the EFF, and if they come to claiming to be EFF members, you must know they are not EFF members. Illegal immigration, the EFF believes in one continent, one Africa. Because Africa has always been one. These borders were imposed on us by the Berlin Conference in 1885, where the superpowers met, and then they put a map of South Africa and then they allocated it to each other. Britain will take this, Italy will take this, Germany will take this, and that they were allocating Africa. Then they started putting a fence. But we're never like that. But why is there such an obsession with a fence? Because border means a fence. Why are we obsessed with a fence? Which country in the world became a developed country because it had a fence? But no, on the basis of this fence, this country was able to flourish. But if the fence is one of the things that you need for you to flourish, you all have fences at your homes and you are still poor. The fence didn't help you with anything. But our fence is actually madness. Because in Lesotho, there is no fence. In Botswana, there is no fence. Mara, there is a gate. Only a mad person can go and put a gate at his yard without a fence, and every day when you come back, you open that gate and lock it, but you don't have a fence. Those people live happily together. In Zimbabwe, Gaten Mackenzie went there trying to prove a point that there's no fence here. He was not saying something new to us. We knew there was no fence. There's no fence. So anyone who brings drugs in South Africa or brings illegal weapons in South Africa, his nationality is not relevant, he's a criminal and must be dealt with as a criminal, not on the basis of which country he comes from. No one must bring guns into South Africa. So we're going to stop these Mozambicans and stop these Nigerians, stop this. So because they are the ones who bring drugs and guns. South Africans are going to fetch, they will leave and go there to fetch them and bring them here. Because now we say our borders are secured, they will go fetch them, come back because they are South Africans. And we will not have a problem with South Africans who are selling drugs and guns and prostitution. We have to have a problem with crime and not with nationality. A criminal Nigerian who poses threat to life of South Africans must be dropped. We don't care whether you are Nigerian or Zimbabwean or South African. You bring drugs into our country, you shall be dealt with. Our problem is resolving drugs, and we can resolve drugs by uniting the whole continent. Can you imagine, Yusuf, if there was no fence and all these restrictions, those cars that get stolen into Mozambique will with ease go and check those cars and bring them here. They are able to steal and hide in other countries because of these borders. They use the borders to commit crime. They take from us, go and hide the other side. Without a fence, police will chase you from here. When you cross the border, they follow you to that side. There is no border in Europe. No border in Europe. So why do they want borders for us and they don't want borders for themselves? There is free movement in Europe. They go anywhere. You can wake up, eat breakfast in Italy, have lunch in Germany, and then sleep in Paris without anyone asking you for a document. No one. Even you, once you get a Shanghai visa, free movement. Why? They made trade easily. They made movement of goods and people easily. They trade amongst themselves. Why can't we do that as Africans? We've got high unemployment now, including high unemployment of teachers. I was shocked that there's even unemployment of doctors. You go to school for 7 years, and then we complain at the same time in our hospitals we don't have doctors, but they are unemployed doctors. But these doctors were not supposed to march. They were supposed to just get a transport and go to the nearest country. Their skill will be welcomed in those many other countries. This obsession of wanting to stay in South Africa alone, as if South Africa is the only place with opportunities, is what denies you, South Africans, an opportunity to prosper, because they instilled in us a mind of superiority. We think we are America of Africa. That's why you can speak about Africa and South Africa, as if South Africa is not Africa. Why? They benefit from this division because the unity of South Africa threatens them. Imagine if we were to do an African currency based and supported by the minerals of Africa. Dollar will be nothing compared to that. Dollar will be nothing compared to that. The pound is what it is because of its gold reserves, yet they don't have a gold mine. We alone, we are #1 platinum producer in the world. Ourselves and Zimbabwe alone, no one can touch us with platinum. The next in line who has a platinum, which takes us to 85% or so, is Russia. So why is Zimbabwe, South Africa and Russia not coming together and determine the platinum price? A platinum price is determined by people who don't have platinum because of these divisions that we're having. Why can't we open this continent and get ESCOM to electrify the whole of Africa, and then they pay electricity to us? You deny yourself an opportunity. We can build railway lanes. We've got capacity as South Africa. From Cape to Cairo. The transport system that interconnect the whole continent. So that you guys can wake up in the morning, go and do some businesses there and then sleep this side, come from that other side with ease. And that's how we prosper. The ANC can't be trusted, my brother. I mean, we all know that. But there are times where you need to bring your enemies closer so that you can finish them off. Because let's look at this. If the EFF and the ANC combined get a majority, and if the EFF and Moonshot DA combined, they get a majority, DA has made it very clear, we will never work with the EFF under any circumstances. Remember, we've got two devils. You must choose a better devil, but he remain a devil. Nevertheless, we're working with the ANC in Ikuruleni. They've got a mayor. We've got MMC of finance. Why? We're looking after the pest because this one can't be trusted with the money. We had two options of being a mayor and then being finance. We said, no. You and money don't go together. So, the ANC is a big elephant. For you to drop it, you have to eat it piece by piece. And that's what we're doing. When the ANC screamed and said the mayor, the minority mayor must be removed in Ikuruleni and the EFF, it was because they went to tell their leadership that the EFF is outshining us in Ikuruleni, and if you leave them in those positions, there will not be any voter left for the ANC. Because when we take over departments, we work, we don't play, and we block the corruption of the ANC. So, you know, if Ramaphosa was to say in the negotiations, the ANC says, no, Ramaphosa is our presidential candidate, he's going to be a president, and then you can give us ministers, we'll give Malema, Minister of Sports. I can't decline it. I will accept it. But I will act in such a way that you will think I'm a president of South Africa. Because Ramaphosa will never outshine me in whatever he does. Once you give us that opportunity to demonstrate our capacity, you shoot yourself on the foot. Because I will be Minister of Sports. People will be marching for water and asking for Malema to come there. Because Malema is the only one who can resolve this issue of water. But I'm in sports. And then you use that to destroy the elephant. So it's important that we all know that for you to get at your destination, it's not a straight road. Sometimes it curves, sometimes you have to take off ramps. But you must come back to your strategic objective. In life, we have to kiss even frogs for us to survive. So it's the tactics that EFF use to get to power, but it must remain clear on its strategic objective. I agree that Lodium is not only load shedding. Even if there is electricity, there is always power outages here. We have had to deal with that from 2016 when we started being in the council, and this matter is high on our agenda. Always we raise it when opportunity comes in the council. This municipality is under DA and Action SA of Tshwane. This is under Israeli apologists. Apartheid Israel apologists are the ones who are running Tshwane now. And they see Lodium the same way they see Palestine. That's why they will never care about Lodium. That's why they will never come here. The mayor has never been here. How can you not visit a place of ratepayers to go and understand? You know, these people in Lodium, they pay their rates. They are one of the best paying people of their rates. You don't go and listen to their concern. It's because you hate Muslims and you don't care about the problems of Muslims, because you are an apartheid Israeli apologist. So Action SA, Herman Mashaba, is also an apartheid Israeli apologist. Herman Mashaba says he insourced workers, security guards in Johannesburg. It's not true. We insourced security guards in Johannesburg because we said to Herman Mashaba, remember in 2016, we voted for DA to remove the ANC. And then they were supposed to pass a budget. And we said, you are going to insource the workers. In exchange, we'll vote for your budget to pass. If you don't insource the workers, we will withdraw. And this vote, with this budget, if it doesn't pass, the ANC is going to put this under administration. They had to put insourcing of the workers in their budget. If Herman Mashaba says he insourced the workers, you must say in 2016, show us the policy of the DA which you were implementing by insourcing the workers. There was no such a policy. There's never been such a policy. Just 3 weeks ago, here in Tshwane, Herman Mashaba voted against the insourcing of security guards. Here in Tshwane. A motion that was presented by the EFF, Action SA, DA, Israeli apologists, all of them came together to reject the insourcing of the workers. Really, you must ask your colleagues to listen to the EFF message. There is no racial comments that the EFF makes. The EFF makes facts known to our people. It's a reality that 80% of the land is owned by white people. 80% of the economy is owned by white people. The firms, the industries, every strategic sector of the economy is owned by white people. We want to change that. Not to the exclusion of white people. We want us to share. Let's share the wealth of our country. So those who are saying we are passing racist remarks are the people who are deliberately distorting the message, and they don't want to share in the country's wealth. If they speak about the EFF and say EFF is racist, you'll realize, you'll even think maybe the EFF said it's going to drive them to the sea. The EFF said it's going to kill white people. Go into the archives of the EFF everywhere. You will never find such a statement. We hate racists and we hate them passionately, and we make no apology about that. We must never embrace racists. And including our Indian brothers and sisters, there's no any comment by the EFF that suggests we don't want Indians. We always say to them when we meet Indians, you are better than us. Where you have an opportunity to help, do so nicely and properly, and we can't pay wages that are not living wages. We need to care about the well-being of our people. So the reason we are here in Lodium was to demonstrate to everyone who says we don't want Indians that we actually exist everywhere. In the colored communities, in the Indian communities, in the white communities, in the African communities. We are the only organization that exists everywhere. And we hate no one. And that's why anyone who extols the Indian business people, that person is offending us. Because they never ask 50%, 30% from Pick and Pay. They never ask 30% from Woolworths. If I bring Woolworths here, even if I'm black, I bring a franchise of Woolworths, they're just going to see Woolworths and conclude it's a white man. They will never come there and ask for 30%. So when they ask for 30% from our people, it's really disturbing, because our people are trying to make end means. Then you go and sabotage what these people are doing. We need, in the EFF, we adopted, when we were speaking about orphanage, I was even thinking about this. We've got 9, if not 10 orphanages that we look after as the EFF, 1 in each province, that we look after every month to change the conditions of our people. In one of the orphanages that we look after in Northwest, we said they must take the kids, because the kids were going to school in the township there, and then they were always being insulted by their peers that you are an orphanage, you don't have a mother, you're staying in an orphanage place, blah blah. We took them. We said, let's find the best schools in town, take these kids there and pay for their school fees, transport, everything. Because that work you are doing is very close to our heart. So we do that work ourselves. And this matter you raised, Obagin says council is sitting on Thursday, and they will be raising this matter in the council sharply on Wednesday. But it's not a matter that needs a noise only Obagin. I think it needs a thorough, detailed follow-up, so that we know where is this thing stuck, in which office is this thing stuck, so that we deal with this person who's unable to help an orphanage. If you can't help an orphanage, what about us? Because those are the people who must be helped before us. And I really appreciate the work you are doing, giving our people in Italy food parcels and all of that. Let's continue to do that beautiful work. The sanctions will come on the racism against Indians. One day I'm sitting in the office there. Some Indian fellow calls me. No, I think from Indian embassy or something. He says the EFF has sponsored a motion in Johannesburg Council for Gandhi Square to be renamed Winnie Mandela. We immediately, without thinking twice, told those people to withdraw that motion. Because Gandhi and Winnie can coexist in one place. Our office is Winnie Madikizela Mandela House at Gandhi Square. What's wrong with that? You want to give Winnie Mandela a name? Go and change William Nicole and call it Winnie Mandela, not Gandhi Square. And that's how we changed William Nicole, and it's now called Winnie Mandela. So if we had a hatred for Indians, we would have demonstrated it through one of the heroes of Indian communities. Why should there be school fees in the first place? Education must be free. Why should kids buy uniform? We must give them free uniform, books, and give them meals at school. Don't give children uniform, children who are going to school, but they give prisoners uniform for free. Can we see the level of madness we are subjected to? Prisoners get uniform, and it looks like they buy it every day or something, because their uniform is always in good condition. Okay, you want free uniform, commit crime, you'll get it in prison. And worse, in prison, there is food. People are given food, breakfast, lunch, supper. And beds, blankets. But our children don't have beds. Don't have beds. The prisoners have got a flushing toilet. Prisoners. It really has got no flushing toilet. The prisoner has got a light. It really does not have lights. So what do you call that? No water. The prisoner has got water. A rapist has got water and electricity. So something must be fixed there. And we are going to fix that. We're not scared of sanctions, my brother. We've got BRICS. In BRICS, we are trying to create alternative markets and economies. Let them come for sanctions against us. But we will not stop standing on the side of humanity because of scaremongering of sanctions. The world is evolving now. If there is something they say they will no longer buy from us, we'll sell it to other people. If they say to us they will no longer sell us the German machines, that will be good. We must produce our own cars and then sell to the continent and the world. Maybe it's time they do that so that we can see the importance of trading amongst ourselves as Africans. The market is there. Why South Africa doesn't have a car today, I don't know why. We say manufacturing has collapsed in South Africa. There are no jobs in South Africa, but we don't produce toothpick. After eating, everybody needs a toothpick. It's not being produced here. Comes from China. We don't produce plate, paper plate, plastic plate. That plastic plate we eat in, we don't produce it here. The chairs you are sitting on, we don't produce them. But these chairs are produced through a byproduct that comes out of that fuel thing at Sasol. I forgot the name of the byproduct. That byproduct, they take it from Sasol here, take it to China to produce these plastic chairs. Anything plastic is produced by that byproduct from Sasol. The Tupperware, if you take a Tupperware thing from a woman, you will not even they are not saying bring back my scarf tin, but bring back the Tupperware. Imagine we can build that here and revive manufacturing industry of South Africa. And not only for here. Remember, we've got Africa. We produce here for ourselves and we sell to the continent. The people of Africa love South Africa. And any product from South Africa, they will support it. So, we must make sure that facilities are available for young people to be engaged. You know, the youth is very active by their nature. That's why they are called youth. If you don't harness that energy and give it direction, then it's going to go into drugs, into committing crime, because there is no activity. The problem is that parents are no longer allowing their children out to go and play because of crime. That my child might be murdered, might be kidnapped. So we must make South Africa safe so that our children can go and play outside, because we know it is safe outside. So let's talk about these youth activities programs that you guys have and see if we can join together to make sure that we channel in a safer way the energy of young people. Thank you very much, and thank you for coming. I'm going to Riage Park in Ikuruleni. But it was important that we come here to Lodium and interact with our people directly. And I hope that you'll spread the message out there and encourage many others to vote for the EFF. Thank you very much.